That's what we were talking about on one of the shows. And, you know, you got Tom Wilson running around who you dropped.
Yeah, not really a big deal there.
No. So, a few years ago, though, Riggs.
He was 14. About
14?
11, 12 years ago, yeah.
Do you remind him of it?
Oh, yeah. I let him know, but me and Willie are actually, I know Willie a little bit from back home and just from playing against him, but yeah, we fought in the GTHL Prospects game, and then we fought in the Prospects game here in Philly. Or no, we were playing in Wash, but it was like the development game or whatever.
I remember that.
And I fought him, but he caught me with a right, and the old banana went under my feet. And I was like, oh.
It happens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's a big man.
He's a big man. And we were talking about him, and he can play. Like, let's not,
he's a first rounder.
I mean, the guy can play.
Yeah.
He goes a little overboard sometimes, but you almost kind of, I mean, when you want to slow down, you don't. You want him to play hard. But we were talking about it, like, not only you got Tom Wilson there, but don't forget about Big 33.
Yeah.
Jara standing there, and then you got Dylan, I think, who led the league in fights this year. I mean, he's a tough guy.
Hathaway, you got,
you got a tough
boys.
team, man.
Yeah.
But,
so, yeah, that's one guy you're not really looking forward to go in the corner with, him and Weber.
No.
Those guys, you feel it in the kidney, you're like going off, like trying to breathe. I gave Cootsy a dash in Nashville, like 4 years ago. Weber cross-checked me. I go down. I can't even breathe. You were fucking dying, and I couldn't breathe. And Cootsy went out there, and they scored, and he like looked at me on the bench. I'm like, buddy, are you fucking kidding me? Like, my ribs are broken.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Lodge, you're all right.
Yeah, you're all right.
Yeah.
Couldn't hurt that bad. Big Webby, just two-handed you.
Tough. Right in the rib.
Oh man. So anyway, your deal's awesome, man. We're so happy for you. The season wasn't the best, obviously. It was just a wild season, just from everything, the COVID crap, and everyone had to deal with it. But just a tough year.
Yeah.
You know.
It was a really weird year, and even the way we started too. Like we were 11-4 and something or something like that, and we just never really played that well though. As our record showed, you know, we could never really like get in a groove, and especially in this year when it's so short, I feel like you needed to find that groove kind of right away, and then kind of roll on it, and you keep going. We just couldn't do that. COVID shut it down. Don't use that as an excuse, but you have 8 guys out for a couple games, and then you're coming back into a back-to-back right away. It's like it's tough on you, and but yeah, it's not an excuse. But we could never really just kind of find our game and string wins together, and that's what you needed to do, especially against your own division. Yeah, we lost a couple points in overtime, but just could never really get it going. So. I know we have the players for it.
Oh yeah,
and it's not I don't know what we could do, but just continue to build on it and have our young guys take another step and everyone take another step to be better and you have to find a way, the little details of your game to keep sharp and play as a team, and I think we got to do that. So
lots like, obviously I didn't play like you guys did, but just being around it for 26 years, when things start going bad or you're having a bad time, it snowballs quickly. Yes. And then you're almost trying too hard, which people are like, what do you mean you're trying too hard? You're trying too hard, and it gets worse.
Yes.
And it's funny, we were kind of busting on ourselves because every week we're like, well, here we go. We got this win. We're going to have a good week here. Well, and then it'd be a couple tough games. Yeah. And we're like, maybe we should just stop mentioning it. But we're pro-Flyer. Obviously, we're a Flyers thing. And it just, like you said, you just couldn't get over that hump. Yes. Terrible, obviously, no one even wants to talk about the Ranger game, which I can just see on your face, not being there, but on TV, like you probably want to two-hand someone in the head. Yeah. Obviously, you can't. But then
probably should have though.
Well, I mean, but you turn around and you win a big game the next night.
Yeah.
In New York, I think they played the Islanders.
Yeah, we played the Islanders. Yeah, like, really tight game. Yeah.
Yeah, very tight. And you're up 4-1, I think, in that game, if I'm not mistaken, and they come back, you're
Came
probably
back
like,
3,
here
yeah.
we go.
Here we
but,
go again.
But you found a way to win,
Yeah.
and that's the main thing. And
Yeah.
But then, the next, just
And-
one of those years, and it sucks, man. You guys have both been through it.
Well, that's what it honestly, like, in a sense, we lost 10 in a row that year, but we were almost in every game, Like
Yes.
this year, it stung way more because
Right.
it's you're losing by a big margin, and you're sitting there. It's like it's not fun, It's not fun to watch. It's not fun to be a part of, and
No.
obviously, you don't want to lose that bad. But yeah, I've never lost that bad in my life. I don't think the Ranger game that was probably the toughest game of my career. Just like the way everything was going too, And it's not for guys' lack of trying or anything like that or caring. It's just like sometimes it happens, and it kind of just kept building and building. So
Yeah, it was a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think it was? Maybe not necessarily that game, but just like maybe a series of those games that kind of went that way, where like it was like you said, like obviously the guys are trying, everyone's
Yes.
trying, but there's really no like, we're not working together necessarily as well as we should. Like
Yes.
just like that synergy is off. Like
I think that's a big part of it too. I don't think we had a practice for 2 months, and especially the first year AV came in, we got closed down with COVID, so not a full year. So I mean, for the younger guys too, I mean, for everyone, you need to practice. You get a good practice pace in, and you're ready to go. So we didn't have that, and then it almost seemed like right off the bat, I felt like we were ready, and then you go out there and I don't know.
you scored on the
Yes.
first 10 most of those games,
yes.
right?
And that's what actually leads into it. You get scored on a couple times early, and then you're chasing the game.
Yeah.
So I felt like we were chasing every
sure.
game. You're chasing from behind, then you're trying to push the pace a little bit, especially when I guess we weren't going as well as we should have. You're pushing the pace a little bit. You're pressing a little bit more, You're trying to create stuff, and sometimes it goes the wrong way, and it did quite a bit. So, yeah, happy it's over with, and we can get a full summer in and be able to come back and have a good start.
Yeah, nobody wants to be a part of those seasons and those games. Like,
No,
I've been on
yeah.
the bench as a player and a coach, and you just want to crawl into a hole,
Yeah.
like some of those games. And
Exactly,
they're
and
just-
And you guys have to be pros, which you are. That's why you made it to this level. But it's hard knowing you're not going into the playoffs with 8 games left, or however many.
it's
But
really tough. Yeah.
Could you imagine Calgary and that Vancouver playing during the
Oh
playoffs?
yeah, they played.
I mean, how do you
during-
even? I would be like running clock, boys.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
let's go.
Like-
I mean,
Yeah,
Well,
that
that's
was tough, man.
That's the last game of the year. We played Jersey, and there was like 8 minutes left, and I forget who it was. One of their young Russians, I think, came like behind my knee and like kind of like clipped it a little bit. So like I looked back and I went to like slash him across like here. And I slashed him as hard as I could, but I got him like right in the shoulder pad, so he didn't even move, The ref puts his hand up, and G goes out there, and he blocked one, and he, like, I think it's his pinky toe.
Yeah.
But, like, I came to the bench, I'm like, fuck, is that selfish, Like, that is such a selfish penalty. I was so mad. And G's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. Looking at my toe. He was limping around the other day looking at me. He's like, yeah, thanks, man.
I'll
I'm
have
like,
to bring
sorry,
that
that's
to bring
my
that
fault.
up next week.
Yeah.
He's